Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Let's
We're
talk.
back. We're
Well,
back.
yeah.
We're back.
We were gone a while, but we're
Yeah.
back, and we're gonna talk about what's on everybody's mind. Well, maybe just my mind. I don't know about everybody. I don't want to speak for them. The beef between Russia and Turkey.
Yeah.
Everybody, or I won't say everybody, but a lot of people seem to be saying that we should, kick Turkey out of NATO, which
Right.
at face value sounds like a great idea because they're causing a lot of trouble. But I'm going to try to play the devil's advocate and make the case to keep Turkey in NATO. Now this is everybody saying it. Even like the Rebel.media, which is extreme right wing, Ezra Levant saying we should kick them out because they're in bed with the Islamists. And then on the rabble, extreme left wing, is saying we should kick them out because they're funding ISIS. Both sides of the political parties are in favor of kicking NATO out.
You know you're in trouble when.
Yeah, like nobody's going to agree with me, but I'm going to make a case. But first of all, let's kind of get into the dirt for anyone who's behind on like what Turkey did.
What's Turkey done? Here we go. Well, they shot down a Russian warplane,
Yeah.
putting us, NATO, on the brink of war with a nuclear superpower. Great.
Yeah, Russia.
In doing so, they've grossly endangered the lives of their own people.
That should be like on its
Huge.
own. That could be enough to get the president impeached or have him resign. You would think.
They also bombed NATO's allies,
Yeah, the
the
Kurds.
Kurds.
And it's neat because like they're doing it subvertly. Like we're bombing ISIS, and then they'll drop over,
Right.
and they'll bomb ISIS. But then on the way back, they'll drop a couple. And what's the point?
Yeah. And then also they're funding ISIS.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Now, we don't know exactly for sure, but it very much looks like they're funding ISIS.
Before we get into the ISIS thing, can I just mention one more thing they're guilty of? Their leader looks like Gollum.
But yeah, and that's a crime. He looks like Gollum.
And they're funding ISIS. Okay, here we go.
And well, it's I guess I would count it as evidence that they're funding ISIS. They've got Turkey's actually seems to be ISIS's number one customer for oil. So they're buying and smuggling ISIS oil into Turkey, and that's
ISIS
what they're
oil.
using. ISIS
TM.
oil. That trademark. That is the like that's what everybody's doing right now is trying to prevent ISIS from gaining money so they can
Right,
get
so
stronger.
why buy their oil?
And Turkey is helping them get stronger. That's a huge problem.
Yeah.
And then Russia went and bombed a whole bunch of the transportation units that were moving ISIS's oil, and they cut off some transportation routes. And it turned out, or it seems to have turned out, that some of the trucks and stuff that got bombed were actually owned by Tayyip Erdogan, the president of Turkey. Looks like Gollum. They're actually owned by his son.
Oh.
So there's a lot of speculation that that's why the Turks shot down that plane, was to get revenge for the money this is going to cost. So it's not cool. Not cool what they're doing.
So now, Russia has acted. They've bombed the Turkmen rebels in Syria. The Turkmen rebels, of course, are a minor league baseball team just out of Chattanooga, are they?
Yeah, the Turkmen rebels.
Right, Turkmen
they're
rebels.
pretty good.
Russia is now sanctioning Turkey. For example, you can't fly from Russia to Turkey. I don't know who would want to fly from Russia to Turkey or from Turkey to Russia.
Well,
for that matter.
Maybe right now it's not a good thing, but
Yeah.
Russians like commonly visit Turkey as tourists. Turkey's a beautiful country. Lots of beaches. It's on every freaking beautiful sea in the world.
Well, it's right on the Med.
And Black and the Aegean. Like, it's a really beautiful country visually. So, and I've got numbers. I wrote them down. Tens of billions of tourist dollars a year from Russia to Turkey. 4 million tourists a year. So that money that Turkey's going to lose.
That's like a migrant crisis right there.
Right. Well, there could be one there could be a Turkish migrant crisis in 2016 if this keeps up. But that money alone seems to be more, like, that's more of a loss to Turkey than a couple of pilots are to Russia. Not saying that, I don't want to downplay the lives of pilots, but
Right, of course.
like Russia's getting revenge. And you said they bombed the Turkmen rebels. The Turkmen rebels are Turks that live in Syria. They're on the other side of the border from Turkey. Yeah. So NATO's not going to interfere with that. We don't give a shit. You can bomb them all you want.
They don't give a fuck. These guys are nuts. Okay, they shot down that plane in 17 seconds.
Well, that was the Turks.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they're nuts.
Okay.
Well, the Turkmen rebels themselves are... they were so the Turks shot down the plane.
Right.
The Turkmen rebels were the ones waiting on the ground that shot the pilot as he parachuted to the ground. But they're not...
That's a war crime, is it not?
That's a war crime. They're not protected by NATO. So...
Right.
bomb away, Russia. Do as you please to the Turkmen rebels, and
Yes.
and nobody's
And they
going
are
to
now
interfere.
militarized.
And they are.
Yeah.
Well, and now
The
they're
Turkish.
militarized on the border.
Yeah.
So they're ready for war, and Turkey's dumb. They're dumb. They do irrational, stupid things. So it's something to watch, and you can make a lot of good cases as to why we should kick Turkey out of NATO, and I would agree with a lot of them. But we're going to continue. And you said the Russians were sanctioning Turkey, which somebody needed to do. Their state sponsoring terrorism. They fund ISIS. They need to be sanctioned. Yeah. I don't doubt that, okay? Now, to make this worse, it looked like, hey, maybe like Turkey could calm down and we'll try to level this problem out so it doesn't get any bigger. Mm-hmm. Because if Russia is focused on Turkey, they're not focused on the real goal is ISIS.
Yeah, it shines the spotlight somewhere else.
But Turkey gone goofed up again. And they blocked off the Bosporus Strait, which is where Russia actually brings their oil, through Istanbul, Istanbul into the Aegean Sea and the Mediterranean Sea, and that's how they get their oil to Southern Europe and to the Arab countries.
It's like, that's
so.
It's
getting worse. Turkey, like, they're not making this easier.
It's like
Russia's acted though, and we've seen that.
Yeah,
it's getting tough. So here's where I'm gonna try to feel the impossible, and I'm gonna make the case that hey, maybe we should just
hang tight.
At least hang tight. Yeah. At least hang tight. Okay, Turkey is tough. Turkey's the 6th strongest military in the world. People don't know that, but like aside from USA, Turkey is the next strongest military in NATO. They're tougher than Germany. They're tougher than France. People might not know that, but that's the case. They have their navy is unbelievable, and they in a one-on-one fight they might be the underdogs against Russia, and they likely wouldn't win. But I don't think Russia doesn't want to go to war.
But it'd be a great fight. It's like a boxing match, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's the number 2 in the world versus the number 6. The winner would get a title shot out of that.
Yeah.
So, like, Turkey could really make a... They don't want to. They're going to lose a lot of lives. They could get a title shot.
A title shot to who? The U.S.?
America.
Yeah.
America.
Okay.
I don't think they would.
See that.
But they're a tough enough threat that Russia doesn't want to go to war because they're going to lose a lot of lives.
Yeah.
So, 6th toughest military in the world. And they're geographically perfect position for a war with ISIS because Turkey's right on the border with Syria. So, if we kick Turkey out of NATO, Turkey's not going to let us fly our planes from Turkey if we do decide to go to war with ISIS, right? Yeah. They're not going to let us station in Turkey.
Right.
That's out of the question. So we want that. Russia wants that too. Mm-hmm. So Russia, ideally, they would want good relations with Turkey. And they had never really had bad relations, just recently.
Yeah, that's a scary little area for Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we could throw a little image of the map up there.
Yeah, we will, because I'm going to talk about the seas. Yeah. Turkey has a really strong navy, I said that. They're on both the Black Sea, the Aegean Sea, and also the Mediterranean Sea. So, if we go to war, Turkey, who uses they use Gur-class subs, they use Ada-class stealth corvettes, like they're more menacing in the water than any other country in Europe, aside from the UK. And the UK is not going to come to the Mediterranean Sea to fight Russia. So all the other countries like Greece, who's on the Mediterranean Sea, if they're going to go to war, they really want Turkey there to help them. Because Greece alone is going to get annihilated in that sea. Yeah. Plus, on the Black Sea, where you've got Bulgaria and you've got Romania, who are both NATO countries,
right?
They would also really like to have Turkey in those waters if Russia decides to come through the Black Sea, like through Ukraine, through the Black Sea, and attack that way. That you want Turkey there. Those Bulgaria and Romania alone will not beat Russia, but with Turkey there, they will, or at least they will defend them.
Yeah.
So there's might and military-wise, you want Turkey there.
Yeah, positioning.
Like if we do go to war, we really hope that's not the case. But
right. Well, you got to cover your bases.
Yeah. And historically, Turkey hasn't always been the bad. Like they haven't always been idiots. They
fucked up a couple times.
Recently, so
They had a genocide.
Well, they did, yeah. Okay, but it came more recently. They defended Russia. They defended America against Russia in the Cold War. That's actually where America pointed their nukes at Russia, was in Turkey. So Turkey, in the past, put their necks on the line
right,
to host American nukes and point them at Russia.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of countries that would have done that at the time. And now this at the time they got flack for it, but we would all agree it was a good thing. Turkey did not agree with Bush and Cheney's coalition of the willing that was to go into Iraq and Afghanistan. They thought it was a bad idea. And everyone else was like, no, we got to go in, we got to go in. And Turkey was like, no, it's bad. And it turned out they were right.
Yeah.
So Turkey hasn't always been the bad guy. And my argument is that Turkey itself isn't the problem. Erdogan is.
Gollum. Yeah.
The prime minister, he's the president now, I guess.
Yes.
Was the prime minister. He's the problem. Turkey's not. I think what the NATO countries should be doing is really pushing him to resign. And using that might, like, we're contemplating pulling out of NATO, but he knows this, like, Erdogan's going through this too. It's a tough one to say, but I don't think they should kick Turkey out of NATO for those reasons alone. And this could change by the time this video goes to air, because it seems every day like something big is happening.
Yeah.
So as it stands right now, I kind of want NATO to just like, hey, look, as long as we're not being dragged into it, let's try to talk Erdogan into settling down and parsing things through. And let's not go to war with Russia, and let's focus on Daesh. That's ISIS. They don't like to be called Daesh.
Daesh.
And for no other reason other than I want to say his name, I think we should end this video with a Fetty Wap song.
Fetty Wap. Fetty Wap Wap. Wap 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 Wap.